This gapped up today on some news. It's been a bit of a downtrend past, almost a couple of months, really, for sure, a couple of weeks. Zoom out. Uh, what was it like last year? In the fall, kind of closer to 10, big fade down with one kind of minor pop up. And then today was a monster move. You can see if we look at the 5 minute, gapped up today, then kind of hit this 315 level of resistance. Kind of see that being a factor here on the daily. But let's go to the 1 minute. See kind of a big spike up, break through that on the open, but immediately followed with a flush down. Kind of tough to see with the volume so big and volatile. RSI is kind of decreasing, but when you really look at it, then kind of sideways consolidation, just holding VWAP. You see multiple tests of it, but it holds it, and maybe a dip down, but reclaims it very quickly. We had one minor test at 315 again, a little bit of a breakthrough, kind of almost a similar thing what it just did in the morning. Kind of from that, opening drive and then this early morning kind of test, you're going to get a lot more people in a lot more short positions. And then you can kind of see as we go through and go for the third time, we do get a breakthrough on big volume. Probably a lot of people covering from this morning. And then you can kind of see now we finally hold this 315 level. And then just kind of grind up the rest of the day, hitting almost 450. But then kind of having a flush down after that. You see we had this big breakout. this 375, 380 level. Again, kind of matched or found out on the daily. Breakthrough there, big volume up, kind of almost consolidating, a little bit volatile, but like 420 to like 415. But as you can see, if we zoom in here, through this consolidation, we got volume decreasing, RSI decreasing, and then you kind of have one little pop up, but then a flush down. The volume decreasing, RSI decreasing. Can be a symbol or a signal sometimes for a flush down or just really just a retracement. It doesn't really break down too much. Just kind of almost then hovers around that 380. A little bit volatile, but really more kind of close to that 380 range for the rest of the day. Closing above VWAP, so definitely closing strong. It's definitely one to watch for tomorrow. And I think really this, maybe that 440 level is really one to watch. Yeah, I think 440 is really kind of our big level for tomorrow. You're going to see there's a bit of resistance today. Even have a little bit of consolidation here at near $4. Oops. Get this down. Okay. Right now we're kind of consolidating that 380 range. I think we definitely need to hold VWAP, and looks like we might have a little bit of support here at 350. Just beside psychological 350. So definitely needs to hold this 350. Kind of can play around in this range. I think if it breaks 350, I don't know, you might see a further retracement or consolidation to maybe with support at 280. So we're kind of seeing earlier this morning. But then I think if it holds this 350 and you kind of get a break of 4, then you're going to want to get kind of curious and looking for that break of 440 for a possible breakout tomorrow. If it can't hold this 350, and maybe we see support as 315, 280. Those are kind of the support levels. Can't hold those. It's going to be a further retracement. It originally closed yesterday near that 120 range, but it has been a bit a downtrend. So maybe we get a little bit of a spike if it holds this again tomorrow, just off institutional changing positions. But again, I think that if it kind of touches that 4, gets above that 4, then things might get interesting for a break of 440. Otherwise, can't hold 350. Could make a retracement down to that 315. So those are kind of your options, or kind of, maybe perspective for long and short positions. It's really going to just depend on what happens in these extended hours tomorrow on the open, in terms of what it does. Definitely was, I don't know, it might have been one of the top attention today. I mean, was it 213 million shares? Definitely going to have some action tomorrow, irregardless. I mean, just because based off the new positions in this, shorts and or longs, just depends on what happens in the extended hours for what direction that goes. Let's also quickly take a look at SIDU. This one a gap day yesterday, and then just made another monster move today. If you kind of look here, this 5 minutes really just gapped up. Kind of, maybe had support here at 250. Kind of consolidated, and then had a late day breakout over that 320, 325, or actually maybe 315 range. Break out of that, people getting short, but it consolidates all day. Breakout, and then you get a lot of people actively looking at it, but then you don't necessarily expect this then second move. I mean, maybe you kind of have people getting in short here, risking off 575 in the after hours. Pre-market break that, so you kind of see that breakout, and then the momentum just kind of continues. Pretty volatile the rest of the day, actually. Flush down, flush out, kind of in a sideways consolidation, just really volatile with these big ups and downs. Really hard to determine trend and or price action when things are so volatile like that. I think right now it's kind of testing that 720 support. And if it breaks that, you might, I don't know, maybe see a pause at 660. Otherwise, I think the real big level is 550. So that's maybe a possibility for shorting. Although you got to really be tight on this risk, because this thing can definitely pop. I mean, off of $8, you might see another breakout. Otherwise, maybe that 8.3, 8.40 level is another possible squeeze level. It seems like this seems to be a real point of consolidation. 8.40. Mark this out. So if it can reclaim 8, kind of sneak up towards that 8.40 level, then you might want to start looking at possibly for a long, that's short squeeze up. But it is pretty overextended on the daily. So it kind of just depends on how much attention it gets and where the buyers are at. Which direction it goes, because it does have room to go, good room for it to go down, good room for it to go up. Just this kind of extended hours as normal is kind of the big factor. I mean, volume kind of faded off hard throughout the day, so we'll see what happens.